There's a beautiful yet insightful incident that's recorded in the Ramayana that I'd like to share with you. When Hanumanji was to leap all the way to Lanka in search for Sita ji, there were many obstacles that came on his way. One of them was the demoness Sursa. Sursa stopped Hanumanji and told him that I want to eat you right away. Hanumanji folded his hands and humbly said that I'm in a hurry right now. You can eat me once I return back. But the demoness did not deem to what Hanumanji said. So Sursa widened her mouth 1 yojan wide. 1 yojan is 8 miles. Sursa widened her mouth 1 yojan wide. On the other side, Hanumanji increased his size to 2 yojans. Sursa further widened her mouth to 2 yojans. Hanumanji increased his size to 4 yojans. Sursa widened her mouth to 4 yojans. Hanumanji increased his size to 8 yojans. Sursa widened her mouth to 8 yojans. Hanumanji again increased his size to 16 yojans. Sursa widened her mouth to 16 yojans again. Now, Hanumanji doubled his size to 32 yojans. Sursa too, on the other hand, widened her mouth 32 yojans wide. Sursa now widened her mouth double the size to 64 yojans. Can you take a wild guess what Hanumanji might have done? Hanumanji decreased his size to tiny size and he flew inside Sursa's mouth all the way to her stomach and came back out and told Sursa, I have kept your word, I have entered your stomach, now please let me go. So what is the moral of this story? When Hanumanji had to show his strength, he increased his size. But when he had to show his knowledge, he decreased his size. In the same way, those who are wise always remain small. The time you start thinking that there is no one bigger than me, know that you have commenced your way on the path of destruction. This is the basic meaning of ego. We always try and overpower ourselves over others. That is something which leads to our own destruction. Take an example of a dog. When a dog is chewing a bone, the bone doesn't have any taste. But when it starts chewing the bone, the gums of the dog wear out and it starts bleeding. And what actually the dog is enjoying the taste of is its own blood. In the same way, the ego that we are feeding on ourselves, we are destroying our own self. An egotistical person, any work an egotistical person does is to nourish his ego, which eventually leads to their own destruction. We too, like the dog which cannot let go of the bone and enjoys its own blood, we too cannot let go of our own ego. The best way to do this is by remaining humble. Ego spoils every work that ego encounters. If there's a vessel full of sweetened milk, just a drop of poison is enough to poison the whole milk. In the same way, just a bit of ego, a tiny bit of ego, can destroy years and years worth of work. Being humble, sometimes we take it as a weakness, but rather being humble is the biggest strength anyone can ever possess. When there's strong winds, high trees are uprooted, but it is the grass on the ground that still remains intact. Being humble is not a weakness, but being humble is a strength. In the end, I'd like to leave you with a poem by John Bunyan. John Bunyan writes, He that is down needs fear no fall. He that is low, no pride. He that is humble ever shall have God to be his guide. Thank you and Namaste.